Welcome to Abu Dhabi. We're just about to start today's race here at the Yas Marina circuit. It's a track known for its long back straight, which serves as a fantastic opportunity for overtaking, going into the slow speed corners that follow it. We have 16 corners here at Yas Marina circuit, 7 to the right and 9 to the left. It's a total lap distance of 3.28 miles, 2 long straights and overtaking opportunities throughout the lap. And we expect average speeds of around 123 miles per hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, Max Verstappen, and Tsunoda, Antonelli, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, and Alex Albon, Hadjar, Lawson, Carlos Sainz, and Stroll, Ocon, Behrman, Nico Hülkenberg, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Colapinto, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier. But critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars come back towards the grid to line up for the start of the race, each driver will be wanting to get the best start they possibly can. And they'll be hoping to finish today's race on the podium, and failing that, within the points.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, radar is clear, weather is looking good for now. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Okay, your pit window opens next lap. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Piastri's behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, your pit window opens next lap, and 11 laps to go. We're going to box this lap, push hard on the in-lap.
Copy that.
Gap to your teammate behind, 15.8 seconds. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Understood. Stopping this lap. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Right, we need to get past here. Use overtake, use overtake. You're in first position, front of the pack. Norris is behind you. Okay, they're on old, hard tyres. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go. Systems all looking good, head down. No threat of rain for the time being, conditions look good. Dryers definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment. Tyre condition still looking good. Good job, that was the fastest lap of the race so far. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Systems all looking good, head down. Okay, there's enough fuel to do 6 more laps. Okay, we've got 4 laps of fuel remaining. No rain expected, no rain expected for the time being. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now. Final lap, push, push. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Piastri's behind you now. Okay, a full lap separates you now. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, this is your final lap of the race.
Yes, baby. We got it. At least. Good job, guys. Good race. Really good race.
Thank you.
And Leclerc to the line, to the checkered flag. It's King Charles today. He wins. And it's time for that special moment for our special three today. The podium awaits our top three finishers. And that is a fabulous win. And the top step of the podium for Charles Leclerc. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One. Welcome along to Las Vegas. Saturday night's all right for driving. Well, it is here tonight as F1 takes over the entire city and the Formula One circus comes to town. Well, tonight we go racing around the bright lights of Las Vegas. 3.8 miles under the Nevada night sky and thousands of neon lights. There are landmarks everywhere you look, punctuating the 17 corners and 2 DRS zones. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Verstappen, Oscar Piastri and Norris, Leclerc, Antonelli, Fernando Alonso and Lance Stroll, Lawson, Sainz, Isaac Hadjar and Albon, Gasly, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman and Esteban Ocon. Bortoletto and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Quitting while you're ahead, not spending too much on the slot machines and trying to get some decent sleep. That's my main 3 challenges here in Las Vegas, but what about the drivers?
Yeah, speaking about the on-track challenges, Crofty, enough about you and your challenge over the weekend. This track, you're on Monza downforce, don't forget. So every corner that comes your way, you've got way less grip than you're accustomed to in a Formula One car. So you've got to tread carefully, particularly around the higher speed content on the circuits.
Radio check, please. Radio check.
Radio check.
It's the entertainment capital of the world, and our entertainment tonight is high speeds down the Las Vegas Strip. Welcome along to the Vegas Grand Prix. 17 corners, 3 straights, 2 DRS zones, and the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas as we race around the 3.8 miles of Sin City. The strip has been taken over to become a straight tonight, commanding top speeds of around 212 miles an hour. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. Edging out Lando Norris, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Antonelli, Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda, and Leclerc, Russell, Piastri, Lawson, and Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Isaac Hadjar, and Sainz, Gasly, Hülkenberg, Franco Colapinto, and Gabriel Bortoleto. Ocon and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Quitting while you're ahead, not spending too much on the slot machines and trying to get some decent sleep. That's my main 3 challenges here in Las Vegas, but what about the drivers?
Yeah, speaking about the on-track challenges, Crofty, enough about you and your challenge over the weekend. This track, you're on Monza downforce, don't forget. So every corner that comes your way, you've got way less grip than you're accustomed to in a Formula One car. So you've got to tread carefully, particularly around the higher speed content on the circuits.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
now use DRS. DRS now available. Battery charge is high, let's use that overtake button a bit more. First position, front of the pack, and Verstappen's behind. They're on fresh softs. We're approaching the pit window now, and you're going to be on hards next time. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, they're on old softs. Okay, your pit window opens next lap. Okay, we're into the last 10 laps now. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push.
Copy.
You're in first position, front of the pack, and Verstappen's behind. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. 9 laps to go. Copy that, hards next time we box. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Verstappen behind you now. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. 9 laps to go. Okay, listen, don't worry about it, mate. It can happen to the best of us. Now look, I've put a new strategy option for you in the MFD, so go and have a look. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. P19, you have P19 now. Okay, that's Bearman ahead. They're on old mediums, and that's Colapinto behind. They're on old mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now, and that's 8 laps to go. Okay, good work, great pass. Okay, Lewis is in for his stop. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. We're currently sat in 6th. Okay, gap to leader, 11.9 seconds. Okay, Sainz is ahead of you. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 1.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. The car behind is Lawson. They're on old mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, 7 laps to go. Second place, you're in second place. Sainz ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 2.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. And Verstappen's behind. They're on fresh mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. All right, 6 laps to go now. The car behind you's just come in for the hard tyres. Car behind, running hard tyres. P6, you got P6. Okay, Russell's ahead. Okay, the gap is less than a second. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Sonoda behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. There's a new strategy available on the MFD. Okay, copy that. And that's us in 10th position. The distance to the leader, 20.6 seconds. Antonelli's ahead of you. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 2.4 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Hadge is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us, 17.7 seconds. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 1.7 seconds. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. P10, you're currently in P10. Okay, so gap to the leader, 21.1 seconds. Okay, that's Antonelli just ahead, push hard. And gap to the car in front, 3.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That's Hulkenberg behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That was our last stop, no more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 2 laps left. Next time by will be your final lap. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
Not ideal. But anyway.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again, because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once more to the Middle East for what could be a very tricky night for our drivers tonight. Sandy, dusty, and with the sun setting, the temperature dropping too. This could be an intriguing event. Stand by for the Qatar Grand Prix. So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS, though, through the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli lines up on pole position. And Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Russell, Lando Norris, and Tsunoda, Piastri, Hamilton, Sainz, and Fernando Alonso, Stroll, Hadjar, Liam Lawson, and Albon, Bortoletto, Colapinto, Ollie Behrman, and Pierre Gasly. Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. So we come to Qatar this weekend, and what's the word I'm looking for when I think about the middle part of this track? Relentless.
The whole track's relentless. It's predominantly built to be a motorbike circuit. For an F1 car, that means a lot of G-force. It's hot here, it's humid this time of the year that we come to in Formula One, and this puts pressure on the drivers. It also puts pressure on the car and the demands of the tyres. So it's a brutal circuit.
The formation lap gets underway and every driver will be looking to settle in for the race ahead, making sure that their car is ready for the battle once the lights go out. As the cars make their way back to the starting grid to form up and get ready for lights out, let's hope the race ahead today is a thrilling one that will go down as a memorable Grand Prix in the history books.
We don't have the data for that, I'm afraid. Verstappen's ahead of you. Okay, DRS is now available. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Okay, you're sat in P2. It's Verstappen ahead. Okay, gap ahead, 1.9 seconds. They're on fresh softs. Russell behind. They're on fresh softs. Your pit window opens in 5 laps time. 5 laps. 13 laps to go. getting a lot of tyre deg now. We've got a new strategy if you want to take a look at it. Got that confirmed. We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 13.2 seconds. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Coming up to one of the Mercedes cars. Fourth position, you're in fourth position. Our gap to first place, 7.9 seconds. Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, they're on old softs. That's science behind you now. They're on fresh softs. Okay, your pit window opens next lap. 9 laps to go. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. Push now, we're boxing this lap.
Copy that.
You've lost some time to the car behind. work, we're in P4. Okay, gap to leader, 10.3 seconds. Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, gap to the car in front, 2.2 seconds. Okay, they're on old softs. That's Sainz behind you now. Okay, they're on old softs. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open. And that's 8 laps to go. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Lewis is in the pits now. Car behind's just boxed for mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Fourth position. You're in fourth position. The distance to the leader, 11.1 seconds. Lando ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 28.1 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Sainz is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. Good work, we're in P4. Okay, so gap to the leader, 10.5 seconds. Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 4.3 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That's Sainz behind you now. They're on fresh mediums. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. All right, 6 laps to go now. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.4 seconds. Fourth position. You're in fourth position. Our gap to first place, 8.9 seconds. That's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 2.4 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Alonso behind you now. They're on fresh mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. We're starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. P3, you're currently in P3. Okay, gap to leader, 5.2 seconds. Norris just ahead, push for the position, and gap to the car in front, 2.8 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Russell behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. Gap to the car ahead is around 2 seconds. Final lap, final lap. Push, push. Lando ahead. Okay, gap ahead, 3.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 5 laps old, and the time last lap, 1:32.2. Okay, so you're gaining by 1/10 a lap.
Thank you. Grazie. Merci, Fred.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
It was a joy to watch today, honestly, because the driver was clearly able to read the conditions well on track, to use the information properly from the team, and usually come up with the right solution at the right time.
We had drama from start to finish, but in the end, there was only ever one that could take that top spot. One of the all-time greats celebrates yet again. It's another podium, it's another top step for Max Verstappen. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One. Welcome then to Marina Bay and a tough, bumpy street circuit that will test these drivers to their absolute limit. So sit back and enjoy the action here at the Singapore Grand Prix. And here's our track, 4.94 kilometres long, and overtaking chances into the first corner, into turn 14 at the end of the Esplanade, and now into turn 16 in the newly reprofiled sector that we first ran on in 2023. Still though, it's punishing and tough on the brakes, and the heat and humidity will take an effect on our drivers. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lando Norris put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Andrea Kimi Antonelli completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Tsunoda, Charles Leclerc, and Piastri. Verstappen, Russell, Stroll, and Liam Lawson. Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Alex Albon, and Hadjar. Colapinto, Behrman, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Pierre Gasly. Ocon and Nico Hülkenberg rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me, bringing glamour and expertise to our commentary today, Naomi Schiff. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, every driver certainly has their own way of preparing themselves before a race. But I can tell you that pre-race rituals are a real thing. When I was in go-karting, I used to touch every wheel in a specific sequence before I got into the kart. And then I stepped up to cars and had a specific set of fireproof base layers just for race day. So watch the drivers when they're on the grid. Some may be sitting on the floor and isolating, others may be up to other things that they do. But these little things really help their minds get ready for the race.
Here we go then, the formation lap gets underway and the excitement here is building as we near ever closer to the start of the race. Which team will come out on top? Who's got their strategies right for today's race? Well, we'll soon find out. So as all the cars take their positions on the grid, the teams will be hoping their strategies pay off for them in today's race. But the question I'm asking is which teams have got it right, which ones have got it horribly wrong?
And that's Lewis ahead. DRS now enables. DRS enables. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Okay, you're creating some breathing space between you and the car behind by a few seconds a lap. Really good stuff. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, you've got P3. P3, well done. The distance to the leader, 3.9 seconds. Lewis is ahead of you. They're on fresh mediums. Antonelli's behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, take it easy on the car, we can't sustain this level of damage. out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. And that's Lewis ahead. Okay, gap to the car in front, 1.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Time last lap, 1 minute 40.5. We think they've got one more stop. Okay, Antonelli behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, they've got 4 laps on their tyres. We think they've got one more stop. And the time last lap, 1:42.8. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 3.1 seconds. P3, you're currently in P3. Okay, so gap to the leader, 6.1 seconds. Lewis is ahead of you. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 3.5 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Antonelli's behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Your pit window is going to open in 3 laps time. Pit window opens in 3 laps. And 11 laps to go. Okay, we're approaching the pit window. You're going to be on softs. second place. You're in second place. And that's Lewis ahead. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.4 seconds. They're on old mediums. Norris behind. Okay, your pit window opens next lap. 9 laps to go. Okay, Lewis is in for his stop. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
Yep.
Tyre condition still looking good. You're in first position, front of the pack. Okay, Russell's behind you now. They're on old mediums. Your pit window is open, pit window currently open. And that's 8 laps to go. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Good work, we're in P4. Our gap to first place, 21.6 seconds. Lewis is ahead of you. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 3.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Verstappen behind you now. They're on fresh mediums. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. Okay, 7 laps to go. And gap to the car in front, 1.8 seconds. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, you've got P3, well done. Okay, gap to leader, 13.0 seconds. And that's Lewis ahead. Less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on fresh hards, and Verstappen's behind. They're on fresh mediums. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. All right, 6 laps to go now. Okay, you sat in P2. Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, gap ahead, 12.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That's Lewis behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, just 5 laps until the end. Okay, we've got 7 laps worth of fuel remaining. Okay, we need to keep pushing if we want to close the gap to the car ahead. Currently 12 seconds. Second place, you're in second place. Norris just ahead, push for the position. Okay, gap to the car in front, 12.0 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Car behind is Lewis. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Let's go. 4 laps remaining. Okay, you're sat in P2. Lando ahead. Okay, gap to the car ahead, 10.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. That's Lewis behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Come on, just 3 laps to go, 3 laps. Second place, you're in second place. Lando's ahead of you now. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 11.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Car behind is Lewis. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Look after these tyres now. You want to finish the race on this compound. Come on, just 3 laps to go, 3 laps. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Okay, you're sat in P2. Norris just ahead. Push for the position. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 10.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. That's Lewis behind you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Lando ahead. Okay, so gap to the car ahead, 11.2 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 8 laps old. Time last lap, 1 minute 41.5. You're gaining by 2 seconds a lap. Amazing.
nice job, thank you.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
And it's one thing to win, but to win like that in total dominant style, that was a fantastic drive, and it is not one that we see very often.
It's time for our podium celebrations. And as ever in Formula One, 3 is the magic number. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.